Y les aseguro que esta mesa, por diseño y por su nivel, les va a cambiar la vida a mejor. Les va a aportar felicidad al hogar.
Es una mierda.
This is Flip Flop. Before we get started, please hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy these reviews and would like to see more. We would greatly appreciate it, and it would help our little channel grow. Welcome back to Flick Flops. This week, we're setting the table for a discussion on the coffee table, directed by Caye Casas. This Spanish horror comedy takes us into the home of Jesús and María, where a simple piece of furniture sends their lives into a spiral of chaos. Did this film keep us glued to our seats, or is it too unsettling to handle? Join us now as we break down the dark humor and terror served up in the coffee table.
Oh, Gary.
I halted a couple times there because, like, even the intro is like, I still don't know where to go with this movie.
I don't either. I'll give you that Rotten Tomatoes so we can get into the discussion of this film, because while I don't have notes, and I'll tell you why I don't have notes, I have issues. Rotten Tomatoes, our aggregator that we use, has this thing sitting at 85 with the critics, 76 with the audience. We have to talk about this.
Is this where your issues start?
It starts there. That's what I got there, Gary. Let's go to the ratings. Give me your rating first.
A quick reminder that our rating system is unconventional. We don't hand out stars, we hand out poos and TPs, up to 5 of them. And just to add more confusion, the more we give, the crappier we think the film is. Crappier, get it? Yeah, it's dumb, but that's the way we do it. I will gladly give you the rating first. I'm only going to say that even though I'm giving this the rating that I'm giving it, I am still absolutely uncertain how I feel about this movie.
I'm the same way,
and we are weeks after watching it. I give the coffee table 3 TPs.
Okay. I'm at 3.5. So we are on that same wavelength.
Yeah.
First of all, where did we get this idea for? Who was it? You that brought this up? Who made you?
Nobody made me watch it. So it was a TikTok that I saw that there's an author on there, but he was talking about this movie, and the way he talked about it was basically intriguing enough to make me want to see it, even though what he said about it is exactly how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it. One of the things I think he said was, this is billed as a comedy, a dark humor comedy. And he said it takes a very specific person to find the humor in this movie. And that's true, but it doesn't take away the fact that this is like a movie that stays with you. I mean, again, it's been a few weeks since I've seen it. And that was enough, though. Him saying that was enough for me to go, I'm just going to check this movie out. And when I got done watching it, it was almost like, we should do this on Flick Flops, because first of all, I want somebody else to watch it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But it's not a movie that I'm saying you need to see this movie. It was more, let's watch this and talk about it.
I need someone to talk about this with.
I need a sounding board for a discussion on this.
So the first thing where this thing goes
I'm
wrong.
knocking stuff around over here. I'm so upset by the movie, I'm knocking stuff around.
They're using the word comedy fast and loose. If you find anything about this movie funny, there's something you need to talk to somebody. You need to watch the Hi Ren video and pick which one you are.
Hi there, Ren. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky.
Yeah.
This movie, I mean, I'm watching this waiting, and it turns dark.
Let's start. Let me just say one thing at the outset. This is a movie we are going to dance totally vaguely around the incidents that happen in it. So it's going to be very difficult to talk about, for one. And two, I will say, we'll come back to the comedy. So please continue. I just want to say, just know we're going to vaguely talk about,
right?
Because we don't want to give away anything.
Oh yeah, you got to watch this. So for those who do not know, I don't like to read films. This is not subtitled, or it's subtitled. I mean, I have to, so that's why I don't have a lot of notes, because I had to keep reading the dialogue.
didn't even think about that. That's funny.
So I started writing stuff down, and I was like, well, shit, now I got to rewind it because I just missed something. I mean, the only note I wrote down, and we talked about this prior to hitting record, I have an issue, and I'm sure there's other people that do the same thing. I have an issue with continuity. I'll buy into your world. I'll accept your universe. I can understand Star Wars in a galaxy far, far away, even though the physics of things don't make sense. I'll accept the terms. But when there's a continuity error, and I don't get mad, it bumps me a little. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought earlier in the film this was. And one of the things that I got with this was very early in the movie. This, again, the only note I have, I can show it to you here. I have one note, was Ron Jeremy there behind you, the hedgehog, the salesman, who says, as he's trying to sell this couple this table, one here, this one is the last one. Smash cut. The husband is dragging a unopened box up the steps.
I didn't catch that, but that's funny.
I stopped the film. I was like, well, wait a minute. And I know, again, I understand if you are watching this, you're like, Andy, that's dumb. I agree it's dumb. But I couldn't stop focusing on the fact that, did they package it up back in the original box? And it looks like it's just a Value City furniture. There's no way it's he's being a salesman. Understand.
Right.
I don't know. You need it. I don't know. It's dumb. I'll let it go. It's me. It's me, Gary.
Of all things.
Yeah, that's what bothers me. No, there was a scene very shortly after this that thankfully you don't see what happens.
Yeah.
But you see the result of what happens, and that's stuck with me. I mean, I stopped. I was like, who wrote this down and said, this is good. Yeah. This stuff here is good. I don't know. You just need to watch it. I can't say anything.
Yeah. Something goes wrong with the coffee table. I don't think it's a bad movie.
No,
I think it's a good and well done movie. You just really wonder about the thinking behind it. What was the motivation? Like you said, who wrote this down and thought this is a good idea? The way they play it out and film it is well done. Yes. Like you said, the horror itself is off screen. The elements of what's left behind is in shadow. And then there's another storyline. There's storylines that intertwine that are coming together in a head, which is all mostly done through dialogue, but it's, this person's coming over and then this person stops by and all this stuff. It's like all these things start climbing on top of each other as far as.
Don't forget, you got the neighbor girl upstairs.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's done. That's another person that comes by. It's like, that's a whole other.
Like, he doesn't need this right now.
Yeah. And that thing that's going on is even like, wow.
Yeah, I know. That was like, wait a minute. You gotta warn me. You get the bends when you make a move like that.
So there's a lot of, I don't know. I don't know how to even know how to talk about it.
Let me say this. The reason I gave it 3.5 is because I have zero idea who I would say you should watch this movie.
Right.
In my circle.
Yeah.
And if I did, I don't want them to call me and go, what the hell is wrong with you?
Right. Exactly.
And I'm like, well, first of all, I didn't label it as a dark comedy. So don't take that out on me.
Yeah.
But so I'll say this is a movie I'm glad I saw. I'm glad I read. It's one that I haven't seen a film that makes me not be able to talk about it because I don't know where to start. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And you God for sure don't want to give away anything because if somebody might be willing to watch this movie, you can't even talk about the beginning. I mean, the beginning is the scene that behind you. That's the beginning. That's about where you have to stop the conversation.
Pretty much.
Because there is a chain reaction of events that happen all based around this guy wanting this god-awful coffee table.
Yeah. The one piece of furniture that he gets to place in this place. And I think that's where the humor is generated from because I can understand why some people might think this is a dark humor. I can see it. I don't particularly find it funny, but I can see it because, like when you're watching, like I put on The Office. I know you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I put on the the American Office.
Yeah.
For Tara to watch last night. And I'm like, it's a lot of the stuff that's generated from even from the English one is uncomfortableness.
Oh, sure.
And this is to the nth degree in the movie. There's an uncomfortableness and a almost laughing at the gods kind of thing.
Well, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Was gonna say, I tried hard not to use the term a comedy of errors when I talked about this chain reaction. And I see what you're saying, but to me, there's a vast difference in Ricky Gervais or Steve Carell using an off-color office joke versus what happens in this guy's apartment.
Sure, yeah. And I guess I'm just saying
that's off-color. It's a little funny. It's off-color. This is not funny.
It's over the deep end of comedy.
I mean, look, I would love somebody to comment about that. Oh yeah, I saw the comedy. Tell me what you saw funny about it, because I was left bothered by this film. But again, like to what you said, this was good. I just don't know what to say to people about this film. Like I just say you should either watch it or don't watch it. But if the curiosity's getting to you, watch it.
Yeah.
And then if you want to call me later, we can have a talk. Absolutely. And I want to hear your reaction. I want to.
First of all, I will say if you go to watch this because you're unsure, it won't take you very long into the movie to decide whether you really want to see it through or not. Because the incidents that happen fairly quickly in the movie. And when it does, you'll be like,
I'm in or out.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a slight moment of my hesitation where I thought, I don't know if I can watch this.
Yeah.
But like you said, a lot of what is going on in the film is done in shadows or off screen, like Hitchcock would do. You never saw any gore in a Hitchcock movie. Yeah. It was all implied. I mean, yes, it was happening, but you never saw it. You know, you never saw Janet Leigh get stabbed in Psycho. You saw a knife, you saw a shadow, you saw chocolate syrup running down the drain. That's Psycho.
Delicious.
But we all know
chocolate syrup. Sorry,
chocolate syrup. But I mean, that's the coffee table. I don't know what to say to you. Watch this movie. This is one of those movies that will stick with you. You'll be talking about this.
Yeah.
I tried to tell guys I work with about it, and then they like, "What's it about?" I was like, I can't tell you what it's about. So I did tell one guy what it's about, and he looked at me with the look at him was like, it was a look of, why would you watch a movie that these things happened? That's what his first thing was like. What is wrong with you? And I was like, whoa, wait a minute now. Understand this is a job for me. I have to watch films and review them. Job for me.
I was gonna say unpaid.
I frighten small children. I don't bathe regularly.
I don't change my underwear. I'm not buff. I don't have firm breasts. I don't exercise. And when I do sweat, I don't shower.
Anyway, we can talk forever about this, about nothing and not say anything. I highly recommend watching this to those of you that know who you are.
Yeah.
If you are like me who loves Hugh Grant and rom-coms, this is not your movie.
No.
Do not watch this movie. But if as a young person, if you happen to watch Faces of Death, give this one a shot. You'll be in that same realm.
Yeah.
If you can watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre and chuckle, this might be in your wheelhouse. My daughter, who loves horror, I'm not sure I'd want her to watch this.
Yeah.
But I will. I'll suggest it to her to see what she says. I'd like to get her 18-year-old reaction. Did any of your kids watch this, Gary? Did anybody you know watch this besides you and me? Jeff,
that's it. And I think I got called out on the recommendation, kind of like when I told you to watch it, you watched it, and you were like, "What?" And I'm like, "It's still like back up, people." There was nothing about me that said you should see this film.
Not enthusiastically. I think your message to me was like, "Here's one we could do if you want to watch it." I think that's how that came across to me. And probably. I'm like, look, I was one of those kids who watched Faces of Death. I was like, yeah, let's do it, man. Yeah. And then I was like, well, what the hell's wrong with you, Gary? Why would you? Yeah,
it's almost hard talking about it because you're afraid if somebody does watch it, they're going to think about you when they see it.
Like, please, this is not, I didn't make it. I didn't write it.
Yeah. Let's end it there. Let's end it there.
Yeah, let's.
I please like, comment, subscribe. It would really help us out to get this stuff going. And I am more than. I'm super interested to find out if anybody else saw this movie, and I would love to hear other reactions to it. Put it down in the comments. Let us know what you thought of this. And are you still thinking about it? Because anytime it comes up and like pops up, I see the name or anything, I still don't know how I feel about it. So let us know what you think.
Absolutely. I would love to have a conversation on our social medias about this one. Because I'm curious if you are stuck for conversation or descriptions about this movie. Maybe it's just Gary and I. But I would love to hear other people's comments and reactions.
Agreed. Thanks, everybody.
Alleged. This has been a Touch of Madness production, brought to you by the creative minds at Tommy Twins Media.